Yet another lawsuit by Judicial Watch, again, doing the heavy lifting that seemingly our Justice Department isn't doing much of. They're keeping it's the biggest secret in American history. They're doing a serious investigation of what went on there. This is what I love about Judicial Watch. So you hear me, if you've watched in recent weeks, complain about the fact that no one's been doing much, as I can tell, targeting the lawfare around Trump, trying to figure out what went on, doing prosecutions and such. But I don't just complain. Judicial Watch doesn't complain and do nothing else. We are in court litigating on the very issues we're concerned about. I've highlighted 2 federal lawsuits just now on the issue of the targeting illicitly of President Trump by State Department goons in the deep state and potentially the Justice Department and the FBI spying on him. And not only are we worried about it, but when we get the runaround, when we ask questions about it, we're willing to go to federal court on it. And similarly, the targeting, the lawfare, the grand conspiracy against Trump isn't just here in Washington, D.C. We're convinced, and we know, based on the evidence we've uncovered, that includes other states. New York, targeting of Trump there, infamously, with Letitia James and the leftist judges up in New York, unethical judges. And then we have what went on in Fulton County. President Trump's still under indictment. He's still under indictment in Georgia in retaliation for him upholding the rule of law on elections and asking questions about the way the Georgia election was run. And there are all sorts of people under indictment, including my colleague still. I don't know if she's still technically under indictment because she had a successful court ruling, Kristina Bobb, in Arizona. But the Attorney General of Arizona is giving us the runaround about the collusion with the Justice Department. And specifically, we asked her for records about any communications. Here, I'm going to quote from the lawsuit. Let me go back to the lawsuit. I can show you what we're talking about. Judicial Watch sues for collusion documents of Arizona Democratic Attorney General and Jack Smith operation. So we filed the lawsuit. It's a state court lawsuit, so we're not just suing in federal court. We're suing in state courts to expose the corruption targeting Trump. On January 13th, 2025, several media outlets reported that Attorney General Mays, I think it's Mays, am I pronouncing her name correctly? Kris Mays, had formally requested case documents from the U.S. Department of Justice Special Counsel Jack Smith's criminal investigation into President Donald Trump regarding the 2020 presidential election. And then we quote a news report that says that she said the documents could ensure defendants in Arizona's fake electors case would be held accountable. There were no fake electors. There were alternative electors, which has been done since the beginning of our country in many respects, that were considered and put off to the side in case election challenges succeeded. You can't challenge electors without having electors of your own to sub in. That's what was going on. It happened all the time. Specifically in 1960, Kennedy's operation in Hawaii did it. So the litigation and the lawsuit and the abuse of citizens in Arizona for doing what they're able to do under federal state law and the Constitution is outrageous, truly outrageous. And like Fani Willis, we asked for records of Kris Mays of her communications with the Biden gang, and we've been getting the hand to the face again, and that's why we just sued in court. Any communications and or documents with Jack Smith and the DOJ Special Counsel. Collusion against President Trump by Democratic politicians with Jack Smith and the weaponized Biden Justice Department are of great public interest, I'd say, huh? Attorney General Myers is acting as if she has something to hide. We've got several lawsuits against, as I said earlier, the abuses targeting Trump, against the Justice Department, Fannie Willis, etc. Keep on calling her Fannie. I think she calls herself Fannie. But yet another lawsuit by Judicial Watch, again, doing the heavy lifting that seemingly our Justice Department isn't doing much of. They're keeping it's the biggest secret in American history. They're doing a serious investigation of what went on there. So hopefully they follow our lead, right? Judicial Watch and Tom Fitton hasn't forgotten about the fact that these people tried to rig an election by trying to put Trump in jail. Maybe we should spend some time investigating them. Hauling them before a grand jury for trying to rig an election. Hauling them before a grand jury for violating the civil rights of President Trump and dozens of other American citizens under color of law. Haul them before a grand jury for colluding and conspiring with state elected prosecutors, Democratic politicians, and corrupt members of Congress to target American citizens in retaliation for exercising their First Amendment rights. Call them before a grand jury for trying to put someone in jail for simply running against Joe Biden. Call them before a grand jury for trying to put someone in jail for simply exercising their core constitutional freedoms under the First Amendment and under federal and state law to dispute an election. Call them before a grand jury for censoring us for raising questions about an election. If there's a comparable, abusive, widespread violation of civil rights that go to the heart of our constitutional republic in American history, I don't know of it. So the Justice Department doesn't seem to be doing much, but your Judicial Watch is over target. And we only do it with your support. I encourage you to go to judicialwatch.org. Give us your best possible donation. And as far as I'm concerned, on matters like this, we're just beginning. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.